the charity all about the eggs. Charity, the marathon all about the eggs. That's the one. And now we've got HUD601 running Sonic Classic Trilogy Boss Rush Shuffler. HUDs, care to explain?
Thank you very much, Doug. Yes, hello everyone, my name is HUD601. It's great to be on the Eggathon Marathon. My first time here, actually. And yes, this is the Boss Rush Shuffler. I will explain everything in just a second, but before we do, I'd love to introduce my commentator for the run. Welcome, Rhomin. How are you?
Hello, HUDs. Thank you for having me. This is also my first time, so I'm very happy that I get to do it with you on the Eggathon. And yeah, thank you. I'll be excited to continuously punch Eggman in the face.
That is the plan, hopefully. And don't worry, everyone. Rhomin is on his best behavior today. He promises not to say anything too cursed.
I'll try my best.
But yeah, so we are running here. You can see we're in Alistair's Magic Box. And we got 4 ROMs here. We've got Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. I have also just realized I have the wrong ROMs installed, and this is going to very much break if I do that. So while I'm explaining things, let me just quickly go and fix this, because I'm a Muppet. So, what is the Boss Rush Shuffler? Well, we are going to be playing 4 Sonic games all at the same time. There are 42 bosses between them. I am really bad at multitasking as well. That's the ROMs that I want. There we go. Yeah, there are 42 bosses between them, and essentially every time we hit the boss, it's going to shuffle to a different boss. And brain really is bad at doing multitasking. Let's get rid of those ones because that'd be very.
Do you want me to take over in the
Please do. Yeah, I can't multitask.
Okay, it's relatively easy. So the idea is that HUDs has to fight every single boss, and every time he hits a boss, the game switches to another game, which is quite interesting because in theory one might think, oh, it's just easy, you know, like do all the classic strats and whatnot. It doesn't work because some strats require certain inputs. And you don't know which comes next. It's like, it's not in a set order. So HUDs goes in there, random bosses in random order. It's like, oh boy, fun times galore. And you also have to be wary of the ring count, because HUDs, how do the rings carry over or don't?
Well, they do carry over. That's the key thing. So we'll get this quickly set up, and then we'll continue explaining once we're in. So we're going into the boss rush. I now have the correct ROMs installed, otherwise that would have been a disaster. There's different... the boss order is random. It's going to switch every time we hit the boss. The key thing here is the boss count. We're doing the 4 boss count category. What this means is it's going to load in 4 bosses, and then it will shuffle between them randomly. And when we defeat a boss, it will then add another boss in to replace it. So we'll always have 4 bosses loaded at any one time. Doomsday's ring count is separate. You can see here that we're preserving the ring count, but the Doomsday ring count is separate. That will become very obvious as to why. And we're just going to shuffle the seed. So the key thing behind here is I do not know the order that the bosses are going to load in. And likewise, when I hit a boss, I don't know which one I'm going to shuffle to. Everything in this is completely random. So, without further ado, let's get this thing underway, and we'll keep explaining, and we'll talk a little bit about the ring count as Ro brought up. Rhomin, count me in, please.
Okay. 5, 2, 3, 1, go!
Go! Nice. Okay, so starting off here in Launch Base 1. So this is our first boss, and you're going to see as soon as I hit the boss here, boom, straight into another one, Sando 2. So I'm going to grab a couple of rings. Notice my ring count here is now at 4. As I jump down into here, spin dash to the end, get hit by the boss, that's fine, I now have 1 ring. And if we swap in the next one, Hidden Palace, notice I have 1 ring. Yes, the rings carry between the bosses. That is the key thing here. So we're going to get hit quite a fair amount. The most important thing for me is always have at least 1 ring. That's the key thing. Okay,
so when are you going to do it hitless?
We're not going to do it hitless, never. Actually, technically I have. I died a lot, but it was technically hitless. I just lost my ring. Where did my rings go? Game, please!
They faced through the floor.
Okay, I'm definitely taking an early death. I also forgot to mention at the beginning while I was panicking about having the wrong ROMs, I will donate £5 to charity for every death I take during this. Which is a really bad thing considering I now have no rings. So hopefully we get a level. Yes, Mushroom Hill 2 where we get some rings. There we go.
Talking about rings and like potential deaths and fight revelation, you did mention once, if I remember correctly, that at some points of the boss rush shuffler, it's smarter to take an intentional death instead of carrying on.
It can be, yeah. Now, thankfully, the 4 boss count one is a little bit more relaxed on that. Because we're only swapping between 4 bosses, it is much easier to kind of keep track of what's going on compared to the other categories I do, which are 8 boss count and unlimited boss count, whereby we literally fight all 42 bosses at the same time. With this, because there's only 4, there's, you know, when you shuffle from the bosser into one of the others, it's a 1 in 3 chance of getting one of them. So it's a little bit easier to kind of memorize which bosses are currently loaded in, as well as which one we're likely to swap to. Oh, I'm in a bad position in Mystic Cave right now. There we go, it's another one done. So that's 3 of them down. So you can see the bottom left-hand corner, we got both a death count and a swap count there. Just need to make sure I don't fall down the gap. Nice. So we have a death count and a swap count. And at the moment we're on 35 swaps, just for a bit of fun. It just kind of keeps track of things for us. And let's continue on here through Mushroom Hill. And Knuckles. Oh no.
I was just about to say, did you notice that we fought the entirety of Knuckles without saying oh no once, but then you broke it?
You've got to have an oh no in there, haven't you? While we're watching this cutscene, Duck, if you've got any messages, feel free to jump in. If you're there. Is Duck there?
Hello, yes.
Hey!
So we have a donation. Unfortunately, my thing that tells me what the messages are is broken.
No!
I can see that it's a donation from Poppiter for $10. So thank you very much, Poppiter.
Oh, thank you, Poppiter.
If the message is missing, we'll just for Knuckles, let's just assume the message reads, oh no.
It's going to be something Bovril related if it's Poppiter. It's definitely a cursed Bovril one, so it's probably for the best. But thank you for that, Poppiter, and thank you, Doug, for that. If you do get the message loaded, feel free to jump in with it. Hello.
I'm both really excited to be here.
Oh, boo! Boo!
Anyways, thank you for having me. I'll be seeing myself out.
How dare!
And this entire boss rush, like now that you've fought the bosses so many times, and considering the different contexts, which boss would you say is your least and most favorite to fight? Or like to have in this?
Oh, that's a really good question. Oh god, now you got me thinking. Believe it or not, Knuckles in Hidden Palace is probably one of the easiest ones to do, so I really don't mind that one. The one that is the worst is the Death Egg finale, the Giant Egg Robo, as he's known. Or this, Mystic Cave, because Tails is so uncontrollable. Giant Egg Robo, because it's 3 separate phases, they're all pretty difficult in the shuffler, and if you make a mistake, then you are probably taking a death. And losing a lot of time.
Angel Island is, I think, a good example of how come you don't use the jumpy strats.
Yes. So there's a couple of quirks with the boss rush shuffler. The first one being is when I shuffle from one boss to another, if I am holding a button on the controller, say like the jump button, as it shuffles, that action immediately applies to whichever boss I go to next. The normal strat we use in Angel Island 2, obviously, is getting a shield, bouncing on the boss 8 times, on Eggman, and then using the shield to get us back to safety. The problem is, obviously, the shields are a one-time use, like the shield abilities are a one-time use. Which means it can be very problematic if I accidentally press the jump button when I go back. I'm either going to mess up the strat, or I'm going to use basically my safety shield to get back to safety. Either way, it's just bad. That's the key thing. So I've had to develop a load of new strats for doing these bosses and trying to do them safely. That might not be the right position, but I'll give it a go. Some of the old strats still work as long as you're careful about the button input. So like the Hydro 2 one there, I am trying it, but it's very tricky to do in the shuffler. For the rest of it, I've kind of developed ways of knowing how to keep Sonic safe without knowing when I'm going back to a particular level. And I think that's the real key thing there. Oh, I've mistimed my jumping Hydro. I'm going to take damage. I completely mistimed my jump. Yeah, so what a lot of this comes down to, Rhomin, is I need to hit the boss while also knowing that whatever rebound Sonic takes or wherever Sonic lands, he will be safe if, when I come back, I don't do any input. So it's all about keeping Sonic safe. So, for example, here, I'm just going to jump, do that, and I know when I go back there, I will be safe. Just like that. So it does mean some of the bosses are a bit slower than, say, like what we'd normally do in a run. But it does ensure that we are actually able to. Thank you, Tails. New Tails would do that. Oh no, I got it! I got the Hydro Strat. There we go. Nice.
Nice point.
So this is really good now, where we've got lots of bosses where we can just do lots of really quick hits. The key one here is Hydro 2, and you'll notice I am refraining from saying its full name.
Are you in Hydro City?
Splishy Splashy Funtime Zone, you know this. Given the fact we are in Splishy Splashy Funtime Zone, I think you have a very important message for everyone right now.
Yes, remember to drink plenty of liquids, preferably water, but if you are a soda person, feel free to do so, but in, you know, good amounts is the key. You know, not too much sugar, it's bad for you and stuff. But I not want to speak because I'm literally drinking a Spezi right now.
Of course you are. Oh dear, right, another one done. That's 10 down, 32 of them to go. We're now on Emerald Hill. I'm really pleased I got the Hydro Strat, by the way. It saves about 15-20 seconds in the shuffler if you can get it. It's just very hard to do it. There we go.
I guess this is also a good time to mention that I have Popper's donation message now.
Yeah, jump in, go for it.
It says, Bovril Totino's
I knew it.
is a unique culinary fusion that has garnered attention and intrigue among food enthusiasts and gastronomes around the world. I can read. This imaginative creation brings together the flavors of two beloved food products, Totino's and Bovril, resulting in a remarkable and unexpected combination that's left both foodies and fans of culinary experimentation in awe.
Why, Popper?
I'm going to 8 out of 10 because there's no mention of eggs.
Unreal. I knew it'd be Bovril related. I knew it.
I've never in my life tried Bovril. I don't even know what it is.
Ha. Bovril is a beefy drink. That's all I can say. It is disgusting.
So how much would one need to donate so that you like legit just drink it with a straw out of the thing?
No, I've drunk it before. It's terrible. It's disgusting. No, not happening.
But we've yet to see proof of this.
What do you mean you yet to see proof of it? I literally did it at ESA. Right, just really quickly, one of the really cool things, you'll notice I'm in Death Egg in Sonic 2, normally a level that not only has no rings, but can be quite dangerous. Because of the fact that we carry rings between the bosses, you see we've got 58 at the moment somehow, it means I actually have 58 rings in Death Egg in Sonic 2. It makes it much easier on the basis that I have rings to kind of save me if I take a hit somewhere. Although that is fairly typical for the Giant Egg Robo. We also have the Giant Egg Robo that we're facing at the moment, so 2 of the finales, or the final kind of bosses at the moment. Go on.
I assume it's like better to have the quote-unquote end bosses early on in the run so that they're just like done and dusted.
Yes and no. The key thing is that you don't want them all at the same time. That can be problematic. But the actual reality is that the Giant Egg Robo, which is like the Sonic 3 and Knuckles one, that was a really high jump, Sonic. The Sonic 3 and Knuckles final boss, that one is actually one that you want last. The reason for it is that the difference in strats to keep this essentially safe for the shuffler adds a minute onto the normal kind of strats. If it comes up last, like it's your final boss, obviously when you've got no more bosses left, I'm in trouble. When you've got no more bosses left, the game stops shuffling. Oh god, I'm in real trouble now. There we go, perfect. Okay, we're fine. Uwu Ball is fine. Yeah, so when you've only got one boss left, obviously there's nothing to shuffle to, so the game stops shuffling. If Giant Egg Robo is the last boss left and there's no more shuffling to complete, you can save upwards of a minute. It literally takes a full minute longer just to make it shuffle safe. This, by the way, is Labyrinth 3 from Sonic 1. This is one of 2 where, if I do this correctly, there will be no shuffling.
I can just avoid hitting him completely in Labyrinth.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to hit the boss, and it is, of course, faster not to. So we're just going to climb up, try and avoid the water, avoid hitting him, avoid that. There we go.
Avoiding water does not mean being attracted to fire.
No, that's true. There you go. And then all the way to the end, and then that's another boss done on the capsule. Perfect. Thank you, Sonic. Right, Green Hill. So slightly different change in strats here. We're going to come along to this side. I don't actually need the rings, but I just get it because it's a good pointer. I want that, which is the invincibility, just because it means that as we come back here, because we can't quite get the timing right because of the latency with shuffling and when we go back and knowing when we go back, the invincibility will just keep us safe. It means that we're not going to take any hits and just speeds up the whole thing. Right, phase 2 of Giant Egg Robo. We now have the laser. Oh, that's bad, but I got the ring. That's fine.
I wonder, is there like an invisible wall that prevents you from backtracking, or could you just walk all the way back and play the entire level over before you fight the boss?
Yeah, you can walk all the way back if you want to. There's no invisible wall. Like all it's doing is loading you in at the nearest checkpoint to the boss. That's badly timed on Giant Egg Robo. Yeah. Oh, I got. Oh no! How did that not collect the ring? Oh, okay. Still gonna go for dangerous strats. Oh, tails, please. I've got to be a little bit careful now. Okay, thank goodness for that. Right, now I'm hoping it loads me in a level with some rings, because not every level has rings. Sonic 1 levels are notorious for this. And there's a couple of Sonic 2 ones that don't have rings before the boss. Okay, Carnival Night, we're good, we're good. There you go, rings right away. So yeah, this was something the Sonic team learned when they brought out Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. The final checkpoint before the boss. Firstly, there's almost always a checkpoint right before the boss in Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. And secondly, there's, I think, without exception, there's always rings, apart from like the final boss itself. There's always rings after that checkpoint. Right, let's not die here, that'd be bad.
That would also be 5 to jump.
It would. Which would be good. Right. So for this one, there you go. So it is possible to do a slightly... All my rings just went through the floor. Thank you, game.
I wonder, like, is there anything that determines that, whether the rings go through the floor or decide to bounce up and down?
Bad coding. Bad coding on Sonic Team's part. Sometimes they do. There's some weird quirks with it. Sometimes they go through the floor. Thank goodness, Marvel 1. Sometimes they go through the floor. Other times, one of the key things that actually happens is, in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 especially, if you take damage while you're on the floor, you'll then just kind of run through the rings until you jump off the floor. So you're kind of required to jump in order to then be able to catch the rings. It's really weird. But there's no real, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just bad collision coding. Thank you, Mr. Tickles. Okay, we got one ring, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it sure is. So, like, the Death Egg Robo becomes a lot less stressful when you have rings.
Massively less stressful. Massively less. Because, yeah, if I make a mistake, it doesn't really matter too much, because I've got that safety ring. I'm not going to have to start the whole thing again.
I mean, ignoring the extra life, I don't think there's much incentive to grab more than one ring when it comes to the safety of Sonic.
The only incentive for it is that if you do take damage, it gives you an opportunity to collect. It gives you more opportunities to collect a safety ring. That's the only real thing, but you only need one. Right, I'm now at the final phase of this one, which means I need to remember to hold right. At least once we start going towards it. Because the platform's going to start running right. The issue I have is that if I'm not holding right when I swap back... Oh, Sando 1, nice. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, the issue that I now have on the Giant Egg Robo is if I'm not holding right when it shuffles back, I will not have enough momentum to stay on the platform. I will die. I'll lose about a minute and a half, have to start the whole thing again. It's a real nightmare. So, yeah, holding right is going to be vital. Hello. Hello.
Hold right.
I will.
Are you holding right?
I'm holding right. I promise.
No, also, I can see Sonic standing there tapping his foot. You're to me.
So this is Sandopolis Act 1, the only level that we actually can't shuffle out of. Technically, the boss doesn't take any damage, even if you hit him. So there's no shuffling ability. So if we're in here, we're finishing this before we leave. And this will actually mark the halfway point of the run. This side.
So you deserve 1G.
1G. I get half a... I get half a GG right now. So yeah, see, a solitary G. We'll grab the extra 10 rings, because why not? Oh, final zone. Hold right. So we're going to do the manipulation on the boss here. Rhomin, do you know the manipulation?
You do the thing where the boss has the same pattern.
There you go. Perfect. Well explained.
Also, there's Eugen in the background.
Oh, why Lava Reef 2 now? This is bad.
I think it's rather very. I think it's hot.
It's very hot. Also, rip bit, right? So let's pop that in here. So I need to try and keep this fire shield. It's very vital at this point, but yeah, this is not ideal to have this one along with Death Egg. Where we are on that one to jump. Yeah, this is not ideal. This is really not ideal.
Okay, I was about to ask, does the shield carry over as well, but no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Right, I'm gonna let you take over for me because I'm gonna need to concentrate on the select ones that I've got right now.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, the Sonic 1 boss is especially difficult and annoying because while we do have the benefit of having the manipulated pattern, which means Eggman will be predictable as to where it comes out, it's still a little bit tricky because the platforms tend to be very squish-friendly. And friendly, I mean not so friendly, because if you get squished, insta-death. Like, Sonic does not get protected from squish death. But Hutz is handling it quite well. Lava Reef a little bit tricky because of, you know, as we explained earlier, with the jump inputs carrying over and whatnot. And that could potentially lead to certain situations that are unfavorable to Hutz's, or in this case, Sonic's health. However, Hutz, being the magnificent person that he is handling it so well that he provocatively stands on the edge of the switch to then just have someone go, I'm almost falling down! But alas, focus is required. We are interested in many quote-unquote final bosses. We have the final boss of Sonic 1, the final boss of Sonic 2, and the final-ish boss of Sonic 3. If you're
I lost my shield.
Oh no.
Okay, so this is going to be final hit on this boss at least. That's one done. Losing the shield in Lava Reef kind of sucks because I've now actually got to play it properly and I'm at real potential loss for losing rings. Death Egg is nearly done in Sonic and Knuckles, so that's at least a positive. I've got a couple more hits to go on that.
Why are we going?
Something kind, please. Ice Cap. Okay, that's fine. Ice Cap 2 is pretty kind. That's not how we do that. There we go.
Oh, the Penguin. Goodbye. What's your favorite theme for Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
Sorry. Speedrun.
Oh yes, my favorite song as well. I too enjoy
sorry, favorite as in favorite level theme in general, or?
Yes, in Sonic 3 Knuckles. Like, just which act is the song with which you wipe to the most?
Oh. Sorry.
Right Hutz, by the way.
Okay, that's definitely. Probably Flying Battery. I love Flying Battery. I think it's great. I mean, to be honest, all of the Sonic and Knuckles half is fantastic. Like Lava Reef, Flying Battery, Sandopolis. Like, they're all great.
Is that an indication that you're a fan of Lady Gaga?
I messed this up. Yes.
Okay.
Come on, I just want Death Egg to be over. There you go.
You can do it, Hutz. We believe.
Okay, thank goodness. Right, panic over. We're good.
All right, Hutz.
Oh, and we get it replaced with Death Egg 1. Come on.
That's cool. We went from Death Egg to Death Egg.
Doing it in reverse order now.
Red Eye. I was about to say Crimson Eye.
Oh, no, they got my rings.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why Lava Reef kind of sucks. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm actually, yeah.
Don't do it.
Oh, no. I lost my rings. Oh, that's bad. Okay, one down.
At least now the ice is broken. You don't need to worry about it too much anymore.
Indeed. The problem is now the floodgates are open, which is bad for my wallet.
Oh no. I mean, it's a good thing. Everyone will like collecting money and donating money to a wonderful, wonderful cause.
Exactly. So yeah, Eggathon is fundraising money for the RSPB, the Royal Society for Protection of Birds, here in the UK. So yeah, if you are able to give, even just a small amount, it would be very much appreciated. The nice thing about the charity is almost everything that gets donated goes directly towards the conservation of birds. But they spend very, very little, if anything, on things like advertising and volunteer fees and stuff like that. So the money really does go quite far for the RSPB. They do some amazing work as well. Just up the road from me is the Slimbridge Wildlife Centre, which I think they support. They might even run it, if I remember correctly.
Did you ever had birds as pets?
I personally have not. My parents used to have a bird. It was very annoying because it would never be quiet. Yeah, they had a parakeet, I think.
Yes, that is a type of hut.
It is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I missed my jump. Thank goodness that safety ramp is there. I love that bit in Sonic 2, by the way. That's the perfect example of how the Sonic team used to design levels. Oh wow, I actually messed up that strat. I'm in trouble in Chemical Plants. Yeah, it was a case of, oh, people continuously seem to just hit the edge of here and fall. We'll just put a safety ramp in the bottom, it'll be fine. Rather than like actually fix the level design. Nah, we'll just put a little platform here so that if they do it, they don't die, because everyone does it. So typical of them. Right, onto this platform. There.
Can I say Crimson? Keep saying Crimson Lab. That's so you can see that I'm a mainer when I'm on with it. Red Eye. Yeah, Red Eye is such a pain. Such a pain. I do not like that boss. I can deal with so many bosses. Oh, you died.
That's never happened before.
Oh.
God damn it. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I get for messing up the strat, to be honest. I mean, it's not hard, you just jump.
I mean, you gotta jump and hope the tail doesn't, like, you know, try to help too much.
Yeah, as long as you get it right at the beginning, normally Tails is pretty well behaved. No, get ring, get ring. Thank you, game. Game is being mean. See, this is what I was worried about. Now the floodgate's open. The moment you take one death, it's like, oh, well, I've taken a death. Like, and then all hell breaks loose. The only nice thing is I've done most of the hard ones. Okay, I tried to go for a risky strat there, it didn't work.
Since we're shuffling through all the bosses, I think an interesting question or discussion in my opinion always is which game has the best boss theme?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Sonic 3 Standalone's one. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That's not how you do that, Huds.
You're being distracted by the wonderful, wonderful lovelies that we have here in the community and the chat. We will give massive shoutouts to much love to everyone here, much love to all your support. Do remember to stay hydrated, and whenever Huds does something, remember to show all the love and support because he's a very, very, very special friend of ours, and he deserves, you know.
Oh my god, my ring. No. Wow, this is the problem. The moment a strat goes slightly wrong or you get out of sync with it, it's just chaos.
Alright, you defeated Red Eye, that's good.
Well, that's good at least. It's fine, we've lived this. It's not too big a time loss on that one. We were only a couple of hits in. That's the real key thing. It all comes down to how much time will you actually lose. And for quite a lot of the ones, certainly the ones we've done so far, like, it's really not a lot.
And my brain always, like, I still have the situation where my brain thinking, why isn't Huds going for the fast strats? It's like, oh wait, yeah, this is the boss shuffle. You really shouldn't do that.
No. They will often result in taking a death if you go for the true fast strats. Okay, Mushroom on. 12 to go. We've got 4 Lotus. There's only 8 more that haven't made an appearance right now. Wing Fortress, please. There we go.
Interesting question. I'm trying to think, which boss in all of Sonic, like of these games, is the fastest?
As in, like, the fastest to complete, or?
Yeah, like the overall fastest boss to defeat.
The one we've just done. Oh, I should not have done that. I'm going to take a death hit. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing you can do if you spin dash at the beginning. That's... Oh, moments before disaster. I literally, like... Oh, it's Metro 3. Started a spin dash and went... No, shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. There you go. There's a free one for charity. Oh, what a muppet. Thanks, rings.
I was just about to say the rings did the thing. Oh,
this is one actually. Wing Fortress. I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we did finish it there. Wing Fortress is notorious for being very difficult in the shuffler, and because of the fact the rings just very easily leave the boss arena or fall through the floor, as you just saw. That one's one that's very, very easy to take a lot of deaths on. So getting through it without a death is actually pretty good. Made up for by me being a muppet in Metropolis 3. Well done. Oh, this is starting to cost me now.
Ooh, actually, 3, 4th, if math doesn't fail me, through the boss rush, Helder. You're doing really well, my friend.
Yeah, doing alright.
Yeah. Are you staying hydrated as well? I don't see your face going
I am. I have my bottle here. I've been drinking from my bottle. I'm making sure I stay hydrated. Hydration is good.
Yeah, don't make me come over there.
Right, Carnival Night 2. This one's a fairly straightforward one. He said moments before probably dying.
Oh, trust me, the hubris that has cost me my life so many times in Sonic games. This is one of the easiest bosses in the game, death.
Yeah. I have done that too many times. It's like you do something and go, hey, I'm a pro, dead. It's like, Okay. So the Metropolis 3 boss is a bit of an interesting one. We can't do any fast strats here. One of the normal fast strats usually involves you like damage boosting or taking damage at some point. Obviously, if you do that, you'll lose your rings and then immediately disappear to another level, and you don't know if you're in a safe position all the time. So we do have to play it fairly safe, which is a lot slower than how we would normally do it, but it is worth it in the long run. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Okay. We're good.
At the end of the day, a slow strat is better than death.
It is. It is. Depending on which level you're in. Yeah, Oil Ocean, this is another one. You can do the one cycle on this, and if you do it, saves like 30 seconds. It is very, very difficult to do it. This is, if you're going for like a world record in this, Oil Ocean is the reset point. You want it ideally to come up early, so that if you do miss it, you haven't wasted too much time to reset. But yeah, it's about a half-minute time loss if you don't get the one cycle on that.
Something that some of the loggers might be interested in, because it's not always clear, does this run have a leaderboard?
It does have a leaderboard, yes. We do have one set up. It's under multiple Sonic fan games. There are technically 6 different categories. There's kind of 2 main categories and 3 subcategories. So I'm doing this today with 4 games: Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. You can add Sonic 3D Blast to this as well. It adds 8 more bosses for a total of 50. I tend not to do it for marathons, not just because it adds more time, but the bosses in 3D Blast have plentiful rings in the boss arenas, which actually makes it easier to complete, not harder. And they're also relatively straightforward bosses as well. So I tend to leave it out of marathon runs. For the actual subcategories, obviously we're doing 4 boss count right now, so we have 4 bosses loaded simultaneously. When we defeat one like we just have, it will load one more in, and then it will keep shuffling between the 4 that are loaded. There is also 8 boss count, same thing but with 8, and unlimited boss count, where it loads in all 42 bosses, one after the other, and then starts shuffling between them, and that one is pure chaos mode. And for each of them, like going from 4 to 8, it kind of doubles the difficulty, and then unlimited is just pure chaos. But it's good fun. It's good. Oh, it's great fun to watch. The only problem is it's like 10.5 to 11 minutes of just loading bosses one after the other, and then it's about 30 minutes of pure chaos.
Since this is going by the original game files, I assume it is not possible to do this as either Tails and or Knuckles.
Correct, yeah. So the way that Alistair's done this is the original ROMs running in a specially modified emulator. And it's actually using save states, believe it or not. So every single boss in the shuffler has like a starting save state, like at the nearest checkpoint, essentially. And as we hit a boss, it's immediately saving where we are, switching to another boss and kind of like reloading the save state for the next one. It's very clever how it all works. Alistair is a genius, by the way. And this is also free to play, by the way, and free to download. If you go to alistair.games, you can actually download this and play it, along with the Boss Rush Shuffler. Along with the Boss Rush Shuffler, get back here. Hey, got it.
Boss Rush Shuffler?
Along with the Boss Rush Shuffler, there's also the Sonic Ring Shuffler you can do, where you play through the full Sonic games, but every time you pick up a ring, it shuffles to a different one. There's also now the 999 challenge, or the 999 ring challenge, I should say, where you basically play through the games. The levels are all in a random order, and you have to try and collect 999 rings. And essentially, you'll start playing the level, you collect your rings, and if you either go into a bonus stage, a special stage, or complete the level, it then swaps you to another level at random. And you basically bank those rings. It's a really interesting concept, really fun, and he's recently added an extension to it, which is the 9999 ring challenge. So you basically have to get 10,000 rings. I haven't played it yet. It's going to take forever.
Yes. Jokes I will not make on relevance. This is a cutscene where I'm so happy that Sonic 3 Air added the fast forward option when it comes to these things.
Yeah, so it's a pretty long cutscene. This is actually one of the cutscenes that causes a lot of trouble with marathon runs for this, because if for any reason I were to take a death in launch base now, it would send me back to before that previous boss. I would have to watch that cutscene again. It's a minute. So essentially every death in launch base at this point costs me an additional minute, which, of course, you know, we allow for some mistakes in this, but certainly not that many mistakes. So I do have to be quite careful. I am going for a slightly riskier strat. The reason for it is that's boss 37 complete, so we're going to load in our final boss now, and then we're on our final 4. So, Doomsday's our last one. Nice.
Like, I was keeping track of those, so I was like, did you know who it is?
I'll be honest, I completely forgot about Doomsday. Okay, so we were talking right at the beginning about carrying over ring count Rhomin, weren't we?
Yes.
Now, the interesting thing...
Doomsday is separate.
Yes, Doomsday is separate. There is an option to toggle it off, but Doomsday is separate. The reason being is you need to have rings in order to complete Doomsday. Because you can see we are supersonic, so every second that goes by, we lose a ring. And as a result, if we were to not have this separate and we took damage another level, when we come back here, we'd have like 1 ring left, and then we just instantly die and have to start it again. It is very hard to do. But yeah, while we're on our last form, while I'm on Doomsday, Duck, if you want to jump in with any messages, feel free, my friend.
Yes, we've had one more donation. It's $25 from Gopher, who says hold left.
Thanks, Gopher. But thank you for the $25 donation. It's really kind of you, mate.
I wouldn't recommend holding left in Doomsday Zone.
No, it's going to slow me down rather considerably.
And just as a report to everyone, we are having technical issues with the stream. It is on my end, and I'm still trying to find the cause.
No, technical issues. Why? Nah, it's okay.
Oh no.
It happens. Live streaming is a difficult thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that, Duck. So yeah, we're on our final 4 bosses here. So first phase of Doomsday, we got Starlight here. I'm trying to make sure I keep this 1 ring protected. Nice, Starlight done. Down to 3.
I was thinking about making some kind of joke about, like, this isn't even my final 4! Leave out the end.
Okay, so we are now into the final phase here in Launch Base. We're going to be going up against Big Arms. And actually, this is... dare I say it, here's my hubris again. This is the easiest phase of Launch Base.
And he's dead.
Oh, I need that ring. There we go. Yeah, Doomsday just hitting the first phase with the rockets. Now, we'll know when we're nearly done on that one. So there's a couple of quirks in this, by the way. Because of the way that the games handle the memory for knowing if you have damaged the boss, there's certain bosses where, for example, the first hit won't actually shuffle you away from the boss, or like the second to last hit won't. So this is a good example where the second to last hit, like there, won't actually shuffle us away, which actually lets me know that there's 1 more hit on that phase. Same with the second phase on this, but then there's other bosses like Red Eye, for example, where the final hit that isn't supposed to shuffle you does. Same. That also happens in Mushroom Hill too. Basically, there's some quirks to this. It's all about how the games handle their memory. It certainly makes it interesting and changes up the way you have to do certain things. Ah, my ring! Always prioritize the ring.
What do you think the rings taste like?
Metallic. What does gold taste like? Does gold have a metallic taste like iron does?
I doubt it's pure gold, because then it'd be soft. You can actually bend gold with your hands.
I'd also imagine it'd be quite heavy. So what are we saying? They're aluminium, like painted aluminium? Mm-hmm. Duck is saying onions. They are onion rings.
Onion? Oh,
I mean,
I love onion rings.
Quite tasty, but would probably smell quite bad after a while. Okay, so that is Launch Base done. We now have to sit through this half-minute cutscene, and then it's just Doomsday to go. We're almost at the end of Doomsday, so time is going to be coming up soon-ish. We're probably about 45 seconds to a minute away.
I was about to say, like, I keep forgetting how Big Arms is like such a good theme. Like, builds the tension quite well.
It's a great theme. It's such a shame that when you do the full game of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you don't get to play Big Arms, and this is why Sonic 3 Air is better. Because
Well, hell of a game.
you can do it.
What if they
Okay.
try to punch us?
And into Doomsday. Go, 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 go. Right, so this is our final level now. So you can see no more shuffling. Like, the screen still shakes, but we're not shuffling away from it. Couple more hits to go. And time is coming up. That is... time.
Hey!
Hey! 30... So 36:35 by the in-game time. The RTA will probably be similar-ish, depending. But yeah, there you go. Seed 1A52. So if I ever wanted to replay that specific boss order, I could do. But yeah, that is the Boss Rush Shuffler. All 42 bosses from Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic & Knuckles, all complete with 383 separate swaps. And unfortunately for my wallet, 4 deaths. So I'm going to be donating $20 to charity after this. But yeah, Rhomin, any final words from you, my friend?
Is it weird that I kind of wish you would have been 1 second slower just because I like, you know, fun numbers like 36, 36?
No, just so it matches up.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's just the German in me, I think. Anyways, thank you very much for having me. Remember to hydrate and, I don't know, stay handsome.
He's so bad at promoting himself. That's Rhomin, RH0MIN on Twitch. He does Sonic speedrunning. What else have you been doing recently, by the way?
I legit thought you're going to end with he does stuff.
What else have you been doing recently?
Recently, I've been doing spooky stuff because of Spooky One, but honestly, I'm just open for anything. I'm getting back to speedrunning at the moment, Sonic Robo Blast 2, Silver the Hedgehog, not as the best boy Tails. But I also have a new secret speedrun planned at the moment, which is not Sonic. It's not Sonic. Interesting.
Ooh, intriguing.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's Rhomin. Make sure you go follow him. He's wonderful. I'm at twitch.tv/HUD601 if you want to come see me. I do Sonic speedrunning, I do fan games, I do silly things like this. But yeah, that's going to be all from us. I will hand it back over to Duck to continue on with the marathon. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, have a wonderful event.
We love you, HUDs.
Thank you for the run.